A hand hovers above a notepad as voices overlap in a glass-walled conference room. Fingers tighten around a pen, then loosen when another voice cuts in. For a moment, the hand lingers, caught between movement and stillness. Have you ever noticed the split second before you decide to speak or stay silent? What slips by in that pause just before you choose? Their fingers rest on the edge of a notebook, drumming softly once, then stopping. A sentence forms and dissolves in their mind, leaving only a faint pressure between their brows. Eyes move sideways, landing briefly on the shoes of a colleague, then on a notepad filled with someone else's handwriting. The group nods in sequence, pens moving in quiet sync. The person's shoulders relax when their own nod matches the others. Their mouth opens as if to add something, then closes again when another voice fills the gap. In a hallway conversation, the same pattern appears. The person waits for a pause, then matches the tone of the group, repeating a word just used. When someone laughs, they give a quick smile, scanning faces before speaking again. At home, dinner passes with the same gentle rhythm. Plates move in practiced order. The person echoes a story already told, changing a detail to fit the mood. Conversation steers clear of disagreement, circling the day's small events. Attention narrows to small cues, a raised eyebrow, a shrug, a shift in someone's chair. The person's body mirrors these gestures, settling when their own movements blend in. A silent checklist runs: adjust voice, align opinion, stay in step. Sometimes the person notices how their own voice sounds softer when others speak with less certainty. They might pause before answering, listening for the direction the conversation is heading. This habit becomes almost automatic, a way to keep the peace and avoid drawing attention. In group chats, the person's replies land after others have set the direction. A thumbs up appears just after another. A short reply repeats a phrase already used. The chat scrolls on, their own words barely distinct from the stream. After meetings, colleagues start to describe the person as steady, careful, or easy to work with. Their presence is expected to keep things smooth, to avoid disruption. Over time, people stop asking for their first thought and begin to anticipate agreement instead. The person's own sense of direction grows softer with each repetition. The difference between their first impulse and their spoken words becomes harder to notice. Private moments fill with small flickers of uncertainty, quickly settled by scanning for what fits. There are times when the person wonders if anyone notices the effort it takes to blend in. They might recall a moment when they almost disagreed, but chose instead to nod along. These memories gather quietly, forming a pattern that is easy to overlook but hard to break. Opinions, routines, and goals collect like layers of paint. Each new layer blends with the last, covering over small differences. The sense of what is truly personal becomes faint, almost hidden under the surface. Family and friends describe the person as reserved or quiet, someone who rarely surprises, whose choices are easy to predict. The person's role in each setting becomes defined by how smoothly they fit the existing pattern. If this moment feels familiar, write one word in the comments. When was the last time you paused before speaking and looked around for a cue? What did you feel in the space between your first thought and the words you chose? What makes it easier to follow the current than to step away from it? Their hand hovers above the table, fingers curled around a pen. Breath pauses just before a word forms. The conference room remains filled with the same steady energy. Chairs shift, papers slide, voices continue without pause. The person's hand rests flat on the table, the pen motionless beside it. Light from the window glints on the smooth surface, tracing a faint outline around their fingers. A page in their notebook remains half filled, the last line trailing off mid-sentence.